featuring the number 5 seed, Southeast Missouri Redhawks. It's now time for tonight's starting lineup, presented by the Evansville Courier and Press. Be sure to check out courierpress.com for all of your sporting news.
Championship presented by United Fidelity Bank. We're at the Ford Center in Evansville, Indiana. That's the site for this year's Ohio Valley Conference Championship Tournament. Tonight it's the semifinals between Southeast Missouri State and Morehead State, the number 1 seed. That's the first of our 2 semifinals this evening. And Morehead State, they got a bye to the semifinal round along with 2 seed Tennessee Tech. Meanwhile, Southeast Missouri State, they had to get past Tennessee State last night to advance to the semifinals. Tennessee Tech and UT Martin, our other semifinal coming up later tonight on ESPNU. Robert Ford with Richie Schuler for what should be a fun night of college hoops. And this is a Morehead State team, Richie, that was picked to win the OVC and got off to a bit of a slow start in the conference. But Nate Johnson of Southeast Missouri State is what put them in the position to get to this game. Career high 17.
You can see how big and strong he is. 6'9", 250, really big and strong on both ends of the floor. When he plays well, it seems they beat Morehead State. When he struggles to score the ball, Morehead State beats them. So he is a bit of the X factor for SEMO in their 3rd game in 3 days tonight.
Preston Spratlin, head coach for Morehead State. They got off to a slow start. They were picked to win the league, started off 3-3, but they've won 11 of their last 12 games in the Ohio Valley Conference, including their last 5 in a row to get the number 1 seed in the tournament.
Well, one thing about Preston Spratlin, he knows how to win when it matters. His teams get better as the year progresses. This is the 3rd year in a row that Morehead State's won 20 or more games under Coach Preston Spratlin. This is his 6th full season as head coach. He's done a great job. He's been the 1st seed, the number 1 preseason ranked team, and now looking to go all the way and win the conference championship. They can come out of here clean this weekend.
Brad Korn, the head coach at Southeast Missouri State, he's done a nice job now in his 3rd season at SEMO. He's gotten them to the tournament semifinals each of the last 2 years. And they're on their best run really in the last couple of decades on the basketball side. Southeast Missouri Redhawks have the ball to begin this first OVC Conference Tournament semifinal. It's Philip Russell trying to probe the defense, gives it off to Branson as SEMO works it around the perimeter. Trying to get inside, almost lost it. Smart, but gives it out to Chris Harris. Harris with 7 to shoot from the foul line. That one was halfway down, but the rebound goes to Khalil Thomas of Morehead State.
Well, here's what you're going to see between these 2 teams. Morehead State likes to control the game. They like to play not quite a fast pace or a good 3-point shooting team, but they're not going to sprint up and down the way SEMO is. SEMO wants a zillion possessions. They want to spread the floor, and they want to knock down threes.
Long 3 for Freeman, and that's short off the front rim. Mark Freeman, the OVC Player of the Year this season. Quickly back the other way, Philip Russell loses the basketball. Was it a tip? It was not. It's a backcourt violation on the Redhawks.
So you have a team in SEMO who's really good at scoring the basketball, 77 points per game. And they're going up against Morehead State, who's the best defensive team in the Ohio Valley Conference. Defense has always been something that's been really good under Preston Spratlin, but Brad Korn gets better every single year. It's a 3-win improvement from 1 year to the next in his 3rd season.
Thelwell in the post to Alex Gross, double team out to Thelwell, open 3, buries it. Drew Thelwell averages 11 a game, and he has the first basket in tonight's contest.
You see Morehead State likes to go inside the paint. They see if they can get score down there. If not, they play inside out. They look for those outside threes.
Branson trying to get inside, not much there. Over on the left wing to Philip Russell, 2nd leading scorer in the OVC. He thought about the 3, instead kicks it right wing. 3 tried and bricked by Aquan Smart. And the rebound's pulled down by Morehead State. Going baseline, the first layup. Oh, nicely done. Mark Freeman, his first basket.
Ohio Valley Conference Player of the Year just announced a few days ago. You see how lethal he can be getting to the basket. He can knock down the long ball, too.
Tried to get it in the post to Nate Johnson. Instead, it's a turnover and back to the Eagles. Gross, the little floater, unable to get it to go. The Red Hawks dodge a bullet there. Harris to the basket, and he draws the contact against Jake Wolf. Wolf called for the first foul in this game.
So you can see right away what you see is SEMO spreading the floor. They like to go 4-around-1. They want to catch, drive downhill. They want to get to the foul line. They want to get high percentage shots going to the basket, which is why they take so many three-point shots. This team has taken over 800 threes on the season. That's a lot of threes over 31 games. If you cut them off, they kick out for open, standstill three-point shots.
Chris Harris, 8th in the conference, averaging 15 points a game. That's his first tonight. Redshirt senior out of Antioch, Illinois. 78% free throw shooter. He's got one more coming his way. Red Hawks out of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. And the second free throw is also good for Harris. Morehead State back on offense with the three-point advantage. Thomas out to Wolf. Thelwell stopped at the top of the key, inside to Gross. Gross spinning, left hand, tough shot. Good defense by the Red Hawks.
Really good defense down there. See, this is the transition where SEMO's so good. Morehead State forcing the turnover. Morehead State has to worry about that all game long. They have to be really good in transition defense. You see how they did a really good job. Thelwell was there, and then you saw Khalil Thomas get his hand in there and help stop the play.
Third turnover already for SEMO. And a whistle underneath. It's going to be a foul on SEMO. And Gross and Johnson battling underneath. Johnson gets called for the foul. The SEMO Red Hawks averaged 21 fouls committed per game. That's 4th most in Division I basketball this year.
Wow. Yeah. Look how I just love how Morehead State moves the ball. Double teams come. Look, wide open three up the double team. Great ball movement.
Freeman cutting to the basket. Unable to get it to go. Some good passing there by Morehead State, but unable to get a bucket. We'll slow it down now with Harris. Gross showed a double team. Now Harris trying to get inside and able to get it to rattle in. Chris Harris with his first field goal. And it's a one-point game.
Harris has been lethal lately. Got his 1,000th point recently. He had 29 points and 12 rebounds just last night. Had a 36-point game earlier in the season, about 2 weeks ago against Lindenwood. Dangerous, dangerous player.
Philip Russell called for his first foul. Some contact on the perimeter. Alex Gross will take a seat. Gross was named the OVC Defensive Player of the Year, so Morehead State has Defensive Player of the Year in the conference and also the Player of the Year in the league, and Mark Freeman. Big reason why they're the #1 seed, going 14-4 in the conference. It's LJ Bryan who came in for Gross, number 22, who's handling there a moment ago. Freeman, crossover. He's going to try the mid-range. And the rebound's pulled down by SEMO, courtesy of Josh Early.
So this is the type of game that Morehead State wants. They want SEMO to walk the ball up the floor. They don't want to walk the ball. They want to dictate the tempo. SEMO wants to get up and down, and Morehead wants to force him to play a half-court game instead.
Russell finds a seam. Left-hand layup goes. First basket for the 5'10" sophomore out of St. Louis.
Sure, Brad Corn's got some explosive players. They spread it, they attack, they get to the free throw line, they can knock down threes on the offensive end.
Thelwell gives it to the screener, Bryan. Brandon Moffmer, big key off the bench. Thelwell unable to hit the three. Early with the rebound for the Red Hawks. So important to hold Morehead State to one shot with as deliberately as they play. It's now a steal by Freeman, back the other way, and he draws the foul. Shot was blocked up top by Israel Barnes, but did get some contact there. And Southeast Missouri will shoot free throws here. Southeast Missouri State on a 6-0 run to go up 6-5 over Morehead State. Eagles have free throws coming up here shortly. Robert Ford with Richie Schuler. And you know, you look at this Morehead State program, #1 seed in the conference, and they're trying to get to a championship game in the OVC for a 3rd straight year.
Oh, they won it 2 years ago here at the Ford Center in Evansville, Indiana. They won the conference tournament. They're 44-12 the last 3 years in the OVC. 3rd straight 20-plus win season. They've done a great job over the last few years of having a lot of success in the Ohio Valley Conference. You see so far what they've done. This is their tournament game in the championship 2 years ago. Janai Broom doing his business down inside. You remember how good he was here for a couple of seasons. And then last year, they went into the conference championship game, lost to Murray State in the game last year. Here they are again. 3rd year in a row, potentially can get to that conference championship game tomorrow if they can win here against a talented, explosive SEMO squad.
And you look, there's a lot of Belmont and Murray State. When you look at the OVC in recent years, 8 of the last 13 automatic bids out of the OVC have come from those 2 schools, but neither Belmont nor Murray State is in the Ohio Valley Conference any longer. Both of them moving to the Missouri Valley Conference this year. And Morehead State trying to fill that void, but again, they've been one of the better teams in the conference each of the last few years.
Well, they were preseason selected to win the league. They did win the league in the regular season, and they won it by 2 or 3 games. Like they were head and shoulders above the rest. It was just kind of a pile of teams all tight together. Nobody knew who the 2, 3, and 4 seed were going to be until the last night. And here they are now, won the regular season championship. They're the 1st seed. And but right now struggling to score the ball a little bit. Starting out 2 for 3 in this game. They've missed their last 5 field goals.
But Mark Freeman able to give the Morehead State squad back the lead with the 2 free throws. Branson, nice drop-off pass and a nice finish inside. Josh Early with the flush.
They do a really good job. SEMO, they spread the floor, so they drive, they're looking for a layup, but if defense collapses, they'll kick it out for a 3 or they'll dump down to an inside player. They do a really good job. They did a great job of it last night. They got Nate Johnson 3 or 4 dunks doing that. I mean, look at the drive and the penetration. They spread the players out, the teams out. Branson gets down inside, draws the defender, and just dumps it down to a wide open Josh Early, who can finish easy catch and dunk.
1-point lead for the Eagles with the basketball. Moffmer around the Bryant screen, or Thelwell rather. He takes another screen from Bryant. Now it's Moffmer working baseline against Branson, and Branson fouls him again. He's fouled him twice on this possession.
You had said earlier, SEMO is 4th in the country in fouls per game. And so a lot of that's because of the tempo they play, right? They play a lot of possessions. They shoot a lot of threes. They score a lot of points. They're up there. But when they're playing half-court defense, you just have to be disciplined to not foul with your hands. Foul with your feet, or don't foul at all.
Freeman gets it back from Thelwell. Freeman, 8 to shoot, working his way inside, and Bryant seals to allow Freeman to get to the basket. Nice play by both players.
He's crafty, he's shifty. You don't know if he's going to pull it for a mid-range, pass it, or drive it on you.
Quan Smart. Now Barnes will try just inside the key, but unable to get that one to go. And you see Thelwell walking it up. Morehead State, you rarely see them push it. Thelwell trying to get to the basket, and he does. Had some success getting to the basket here in the last couple of possessions, Morehead State.
Well, they haven't turned the ball over, and they're really good at taking care of the basketball. They have to continue doing that against the SEMO squad, who make them play a lot of possessions.
Russell, long 3, buries it. Philip Russell with his first triple. He's 35% from deep on the year, and we're tied at 11.
First team all-conference player. You see he can score in a lot of different ways. Such a competitor.
Wolf, only returning starter for Morehead State. Thelwell off the Wolf screen, buries a 3. So Drew Thelwell with the answer, his second triple.
Both these teams showing that they can score off the dribble, but they can also score off the catch and shoot.
Russell around the Bryant screen. Josh Early gives it back to Russell. Russell had to alter his shot there because of Moffmer disrupting and winds up missing the mid-range shot. Thelwell into the lane with the right hand, and Bryant tries to clean up. He can't. Thelwell and Bryant got a little tangled up there looking for the rebound, and it goes to the Red Hawks.
Well, L.J. Bryant's wide open for that offensive rebound because of the drive by Thelwell. He got the defense out of position, so nobody blocks out Bryant. Now, Semo dodged a bullet. L.J. Bryant should have made that layup. He missed a layup. You know he wants that one back, right? He's frustrated right now. But when somebody drives, it takes the defense out of position, and therefore not everybody gets blocked out. That's what happened on that play.
Working it, getting it inside now.
Nice pass, the no look.
Ursher open, but unable to hit the three from the corner.
I love Chris Harris's game, how he played last night, how he's played lately. He's the player that made that great pass.
29 points, 12 rebounds last night for Harris. Their win over Tennessee State. Third game in 3 days for Semo. Nice move inside by Alex Rose, making his presence felt, coming back into the game.
You see Morehead State has a lot of activity on the baseline, and all that activity makes the post defender have to pay attention to it. So they get a lot of looks down inside. That's why Alex Gross got the ball.
Smart off to Early.
Nice.
And Moffmer into the passing lane. Up ahead to Freeman. He'll try the three in transition and make the three in transition. Freeman with 9 to lead all scores. And it's an 8-point lead for Morehead State, their largest. 8-0 run for the Eagles after it was tied at 11. Smart around the Early screen, gets another screen from Early. Working his way inside, right hand. Harris doesn't get it to go, but a foul. And that's going to be on the rebound, and it's going to stay with Southeast Missouri.
Well, what do you do if you need a bucket? You go to your first team all-conference players. First they go down inside. It's Alex Gross. Nice little shimmy move over his left shoulder hook shot. And then who else? The Ohio Valley Conference Player of the Year, Mark Freeman, with a pull-up three-point shot. Nothing Morehead State run here against Semo. It all started with a three-point shot from Thelwell coming off a screen. Great catch and shoot, and then Alex Gross down inside, making a move down inside the paint. He gets a bucket. How about the steal by Moffmer? Dishes it to the Ohio Valley Conference Player of the Year, Mark Freeman, who pulls up from 3. 8 straight points, and just like that, it's an 8-point lead for Morehead State.
Happened so quickly, it seems. Big key in tonight's game has been the turnovers early on. Southeast Missouri State's turned it over 5 times, and Morehead State has scored 8 points off those 5 turnovers. Meanwhile, the Eagles have not turned the ball over to this point.
Yeah, it's a little bit uncharacteristic. SEMO's a team who gets more assists than turnovers. It's a common comparison. If you look at the stats of all the great teams in every league, more often than not, they take care of the ball. They have more assists than turnovers throughout the course of the season. They have good shooting percentages, but tonight, just so far, SEMO has struggled to take care of the basketball.
A foul, I believe that's Thomas of Morehead State working against Philip Russell. So Khalil Thomas called for his first.
SEMO, I'm looking for SEMO. Are they going to take high percentage three-point shots? They take a ton of them, right? And this being their third game in 3 days, they're used to this arena. They've played here at the Ford Center 3 straight days now. That's going to be a blocking, yeah.
Yeah, and Wolf, looks like their feet got tangled. Laquan Smart. Officials discussing whether or not this is a shooting foul.
I think they're going to call.
Yep, it is going to be a shooting foul. So the second foul on Jake Wolf. So Smart at the line for a couple. Laquan Smart, 6'3" sophomore from Evanston, Illinois. Started his college career at Maryland, then on the FIU, then finding his way to SEMO.
He's so
another
long.
Free throw here.
He's so long, rangy. He's a guy so crafty when he gets into the paint.
Starting his 5th straight game. He's been in the starting lineup most of the year.
I see a little press from SEMO.
Trying to force tempo here against a deliberate Morehead State squad. 6-point lead for the Eagles with the ball. Freeman around the Gross screen. Now gives it to Gross. Freeman, 8 on the shot clock. Over to Thomas, 3 to shoot. He'll try the 3 and not get the 3.
That did not look easy either. That did not look like an easy 3 from the corner. 38%. He's a guy that loves to catch and shoot. That three-pointer, sometimes you'll see him do a little sidestep, one dribble.
A little more than halfway through the opening half. Russell doesn't hit anything, but gets his own rebound. Ursher around the screen. Russell, step back. Unable to get that to go, and Gross with the rebound. 4th in the conference, Alex Gross, averaging 7.5 boards a game.
And his story's amazing. Coming from Olivet Nazarene, 4 years, NAIA, switches over to Division I. He's a first-teamer in the conference right away, all newcomer team. I love that.
Raymond unable to hit from the elbow. And the Red Hawks looking to push. But Morehead State doing a good job of getting back. Thelwell, another turnover. Nicely done by Thelwell.
Throw it up.
And nice lay-in. Moffmer with the right hand. And SEMO wants to talk it over. 11-point lead for Morehead State.
Just keep pouring it on, don't they? They force turnovers, doing a great job of that, and then they're making their turnovers into buckets on the other end. This is a great play right here by Freeman. Throws it up to Moffmer. Was able to finish it home. And here you are, Morehead State in complete control here early in the first half.
That's a big key right there, what you see on your screen. 10-0, points off turnovers. Morehead State hasn't turned the ball over yet. And turning these turnovers into points has been a big reason, Richie, for this 13-2 run that the Eagles have been on.
Every time we've ever been to a shoot-around or a practice for Morehead State right there, Preston Spradlin, his group is right away, immediately working on defensive drills.
I'd like to welcome those of you who just watched Akron and Kent State on ESPNU. This is the first of 2 Ohio Valley Conference Tournament semifinals tonight. Morehead State, a 13-2 run, and they have their largest lead of the night over the Red Hawks of Southeast Missouri State. Red Hawks coming out of a timeout looking for some answers. Smart with the leaner, and well, that's the start of an answer. Daquan Smart with his first bucket of the game.
Well, you know, you're seeing two teams here that play two different styles. Morehead State with the basketball, they like to run great half-court offense. They like to go high-low, kick it out for open threes. When you see SEMO, the team in red, go on the other side, they like to spread the floor, drive, kick, take a lot of three-point shots and beat you with their scoring.
Groves working against Johnson. Good defense by Johnson. And the rebounds pulled down by Chris Harris.
I think Morehead State's done an excellent job of slowing down SEMO's offensive attack. They're really good in great positioning at most of the times, and a lot of deflections and steals. We've seen multiple steals tonight by Morehead State.
But SEMO gets it back, and Barnes with the lay-in. Israel Barnes, redshirt senior out of Wichita, Kansas.
That's a good sign for Brad Korn's group of SEMO, because oftentimes they'd turn the ball over and it would be buckets on the other end for Morehead State.
Hoffmer working against Harris. He'll try a three. Harris pulls down the board.
Morehead State's got to contain drives. Yeah, force contested threes like that. SEMO oftentimes knocks down those threes, and you can see a little frustration from the Red Hawks right now. Hasn't been going their way here early in the first half.
Chris Harris missing that last triple try for the Red Hawks. Hoffner working his way inside the fadeaway. Nate Johnson clears it for SEMO.
We're seeing SEMO slow the ball down just a little bit, aren't we?
Well, it's their third game in 3 days. Beat 8 seed Lindenwood on Wednesday in the first round of the OVC tournament. Last night, beat the 4 seed Tennessee State in the quarterfinal round, 91-83. Barnes to the basket. Gross with the deflection and the block shot.
Well, you see why Morehead State's the top team in the Ohio Valley Conference in scoring defense, also in rebound margin. So they're a squad that really zones in on those two areas, and those areas win you championships if you can dominate in those categories.
Gross averages 2.1 blocks per game. That's 24th in the country. Big reason why he's the OVC Defensive Player of the Year. Almost a travel by Thelwell. From the elbow, Freeman.
Wow.
Game high 11 for Freeman.
He's the Conference Player of the Year. We've seen him in this game get crafty shots inside the paint for layups. We've seen him pull up for three-point shots, and now 1-2 dribble mid-range pull up right at the elbow.
Harris loses it. Another turnover for Morehead State.
Nice
2-on-1. Freeman from Thomas lays it in.
What an unselfish play, started by Gross. Khalil Thomas passing it off to his teammate Freeman. And Morehead State seemingly just dominating so far on the defensive end of the floor.
Matches the largest lead of the night for Morehead State. Ursher, he'll try the three and knock it in. Evan Ursher with his first bucket.
It's what SEMO needed. That's huge. They've got to hang around. They can't let this get out of control.
That was just the 8th three-pointer made this season by Ursher, the freshman.
Brad Korn's got 4 red jerseys ready to come in.
Thomas got fouled, and he's got a free throw coming. A potential 4-point play for Khalil Thomas.
Oh my goodness. What a shot.
With the foul.
Look at this, off the ball screen, great ball movement. People are moving off the basketball, and there he is, Thomas, ready to catch and knock down the three-point shot.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by United Fidelity Bank. Come see the difference at unitedfidelity.com.
faster than 3 minutes.
Morehead State has forced SEMO into 8 turnovers already here in the first half. That's led to 12 points on the other end of the floor for the Eagles. They're doing a lot of different ways. They're getting layups, they're getting threes. Look at these steals. It's just a glove by Moffmer. This is a great three-point shot by the Ohio Valley Conference Player of the Year, Mark Freeman. They're just doing a good job. SEMO likes to spread the floor. They like to attack. Morehead State's in the right position a lot of times. They're getting deflections for steals and going the other way.
Just one turnover, meanwhile, committed by Morehead State. That number has been lopsided so far in this game, especially when you consider that Southeast Missouri State is the best in the conference at forcing turnovers. Usually force 15 a game. Khalil Thomas completing a 4-point play, or at least trying to, but missing the free throw.
Right, here's the thing. I mean, Morehead State's got 8 more field goal attempts, despite the fact that SEMO's beating them in the rebounding battle. It's all about the turnovers here. SEMO can't take care of the basketball, and Morehead State is capitalizing.
Adam Larson got fouled by Thelwell. 15th foul on the Eagles.
You had mentioned SEMO third game in 3 days, right?
Right.
Sometimes that plays a factor. You know, are they fresh? That's one thing you have to ask. It's their third game in a row, third day in a row. Morehead State has been sitting since Saturday, relaxing, resting, preparing for this contest. But it can help SEMO because now you have a chance to play in the arena. You have deeper end zone, so to speak, right? So the depth perception's a little bit different on your three-point shot. You wonder, is that going to affect Morehead State because they haven't played since last Saturday? Well, clearly it hasn't. They're playing really well and playing looking rested.
Nice follow there by Barnes after the initial miss by Johnson, or by Early. 4 points for Barnes off the bench. He averages 10 a game.
They run a lot of sets, Morehead State. They know their stuff. Once their set breaks down, they go into their motion offense. They like to look down inside. Nothing there, ball screens.
4 to shoot. Freeman in some trouble. Inside to Bryant. 1 to shoot.
Beautiful.
And Bryant able to lay it in.
They're going to check it. But that looked good to me from the naked eye. But how about Morehead State using every 10th of a second on that shot clock? This is how they like to play. They want to out-execute you. Look at the shot clock. Look at LJ Bryant's hand. Oh, I don't know if he got it out in time. Right there it says 0. It's out of his hand there. Is it touching there or not? That's the question.
It's closer than I thought.
It is. I think they're going to call it back. It says 0 there. If we were to go back, is it touching his hand right now? They might call that back. I think it's the frame right before. Right there. And that's the 2 frames. It's close.
I'm telling you, if these glasses were 2015 instead of 2020, I might be able to tell you whether that was in his hand or not.
We can arrange that. Do we have an optometrist in the building, please? But nevertheless, whether that counts or not, it just proves my point. Morehead State loves to push it. I'm sorry, SEMO loves to push it. They want to attack. They want to get a lot of threes and play high possessions. Morehead State wants to execute and break it down, break you down with screens and score off of the pass. It's exactly what they did. They used 27, 28 seconds. They dumped it down inside to LJ Bryant from the top of the key. He made a play. It may be called back, but they got to use that whole shot clock, and they still got a high percentage look.
Chris Hudson, Steve Divide, the 2 officials looking at the monitor. Andrew Walton, the 3rd official. We'll get another look at it here.
See, there it looks like, I mean, we can go back 1 or 2. Right there. It looks to me, is it out of his hand right there? And if we go to the next frame, has he pushed the ball? Because it's 0 now. I don't know.
All right. What's the call? It looks like gonna count.
The fans are cheering.
Yep, basket will count. So first bucket for LJ Bryan. And back to an 11-point lead for Morehead State, matching their largest of the game. 4:11 remaining in the first half. Winner of this semifinal will play the winner of the next semifinal coming up here on ESPNU between Tennessee Tech and UT Martin. OVC championship game tomorrow night on ESPN2 at 8 Eastern. Branson getting inside, and he gets rejected. I believe that was Bryan. It will stay with Southeast Missouri State when we return. The Red Hawks looking to trim this 11-point deficit against Morehead State. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal. When you take care of your team, they take care of business. We have 5 college basketball games tomorrow on ESPN and the app that start at noon Eastern, but we're highlighting these 3 games. Top teams in the Big 12 square off at 4 Eastern, 3 Central. Number 9 Texas against number 3 Kansas. Then it's Duke and North Carolina. And at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, top teams in the Pac-12. Number 4 UCLA hosts number 8 Arizona. Should be another fantastic day of hoops.
I like that. Free man, the 3-man.
It's clever.
That is clever. It's not bad.
Well, when you have hair like that, I'm expecting creativity.
Wow, I didn't realize that was a mullet.
Yes, you did.
I didn't know it until he turned to the left. How about that?
That was good timing on that fan's part there.
He knew we were on him.
11-point lead for Morehead State. The Red Hawks of Southeast Missouri State with 9 to shoot. Russell got it. Second 3 for Philip Russell. He now has 8.
He's second in the OVC in scoring at 18 points per game. He is a guy that can fill it up. They've done a good job on him so far tonight, but when they need a bucket, they've got to go to Philip Russell.
Had 18 in their quarterfinal win last night against Tennessee State. And a turnover, just a second for Semo. Barnes with the right hand and the foul. Israel Barnes with 6 off the bench.
Just when Morehead State was feeling comfortable, 5 points in probably 10 seconds. Great job getting the steal, and Semo showing how things can change in a hurry if they can get up and down full court.
Barnes, a 53% free throw shooter. He was playing at Division II Newman University in Kansas last year. A couple of years at Weber State before that. And all of a sudden the lead's trimmed to 6 for Morehead State. They were up by 11.
Yeah, when you have teams like Semo who get up and down and they score a lot of buckets with fast pace, the challenge for those teams is, can you be effective? Can you be efficient in the half-court offense? Morehead State's challenged them on that tonight, and they have struggled.
Moffmer just flings one up toward the basket. He draws the contact. Philip Russell whistled for his second.
But if SEMO can complement their full court offense, you know, when they get breaks and they get up and down the floor with some half court efficient offense, that's when they're really dangerous to beat. And that's, you know, that's why they've been so good this season under Brad Korn. They've gotten better every single year.
Our NBA Saturday primetime game on ABC and the ESPN app is a great Eastern Conference matchup between Joel Embiid and the third-place Sixers and Giannis and the second-place Bucks, who've won 14 straight. Coverage begins with NBA Countdown at 8 Eastern and 5 Pacific. Moffmer, empty trip there. SEMO down 34-27. Kick ball will stay with the Red Hawks. Shot clock at 20.
It was a kick ball, but that's what I like about what some of these players are doing. Like, he jumped into the passing lane. He read the defense, or read the offense. He knew the pass was going there, so he got in the passing lane and prevented it from getting to the wing. It disrupts their offense. Now they got to inbound it. Look, all the time is taken off the clock. They still haven't gotten their offense.
Harris working in the post against Trent Scott. Gross with the help, and Gross altering that shot and then getting the rebound.
See why he's Defensive Player of the Year? Arms straight up in the air, his body perpendicular to the floor.
Mark Freeman off to Thomas. 9 on the shot clock. Moffmer behind the back dribble,
nice
and
steal.
then turns it over. Nice hands by Chris Harris, and he's bumped on his way up the floor by Trent Scott, the freshman.
And it's a headsy move right there. Chris Harris, the senior, fifth-year senior, gets the steal. And then look what he does after the steal. He jumps in front of the defender, Trent Scott, and he tries to gain the foul, and he does. Watch this. This is a heads-up move. Look, he gets in front of him and waits for the contact so he can get fouled. Now he gets one-on-one.
Yeah, 17 foul on Morehead State. So an opportunity for SEMO to trim this deficit at the line. Preston Spratlin, head coach for Morehead State, pleading his case to the officials. Second straight year that Preston Spratlin has been the Ohio Valley Conference's coach of the year. Harris able to hit both. And 5-point lead now for the Eagles of Morehead State. SEMO showing a little bit of backcourt pressure here.
This is what they do after made free throws. They go into it. I believe it's a 1-2-1-1 diamond press. And a great job by Morehead State. That's how you beat it. You got to get the ball in the middle of the floor. Now they beat it. If you beat that, oftentimes you can get a three-point shot in the corner or a layup in the basket.
Under 2 to play in the first half. Freeman step back 3. And a rebounding foul. I believe that's going to be on Gross of Morehead State. So it's going to stay. Nope, it's going to be on SEMO. It's going to stay on this end. Nate Johnson called for his second.
In the game for SEMO, number 1,
That's
replacing
the 18th foul on SEMO. So Gross at the line for a 1-and-1.
At the line for Morehead, Alex Gross. One of the balls.
Gross unable to convert on the front end. And Russell back the other way.
Yeah, the goal for them is to get into offense before the defense is set. Not bad, just a missed shot.
Russell unable to hit on that 3. And Morehead State, as is their custom, will slow things down.
Anybody that plays a team like Morehead State, a team that's so great on the defensive end, you want to get into offense well before they have all 5 players set. Oh, nice block shot. A little hesitation by Freeman.
Thomas unable to finish. Moffmer. They work the ball around the perimeter. Freeman fouled before the shot attempt. And that's going to be 3 on Nate Johnson.
Oh, that's a big blow. That's a big blow. We talked in the open about when Nate Johnson scored in double figures this year, that's when SEMO was able to beat Morehead State. When he did not, he scored in the single digits. Morehead State beat them. So in a way, Nate Johnson's a bit of the X factor for Semo in playing Morehead State. And he's got 3 fouls now in the first half. That's a huge ball. You won't see him to the second half.
Unable to convert on the front end, but Moffmer gets the rebound and taps it to Freeman. That's huge for Morehead State. Under a minute remaining in the first half. 5-point lead for the Eagles with the ball. Thomas to the basket. Just flipped one up, couldn't get it to go. And Josh Early with the rebound. The other thing about Johnson, not a whole lot of size for Semo. Really hurt with the loss of Kobe Clark, 6'6" sophomore. Hasn't played in the last 13 games because of injury, and now a turnover.
Hofford just has a glove. We've seen that twice where he's gotten a steal with 2 hands, like an interception.
Preston Spradlin wants to talk things over on this last possession, probably for Morehead State of the half. Coming up on the All-State halftime report, Kevin Connors, Jordan Cornett will preview Duke and UNC tomorrow. The regular season finale for both teams. Look at the ACC standings. It's rare when you see that Duke-UNC matchup, and neither one of those squads are ranked.
You don't see a number next to their name, right?
That's right.
That is strange.
About a 5.5-second difference between game and shot clock here for Morehead State. Fell while dribbling out some clock.
There'll be a ball screen.
Ursher hounding him. 9 to shoot. Wolf working his way inside. Wanted the foul, doesn't get it. Gross gets it. Unable to finish. Semo dodging a couple of bullets there. Quickly back the other way to end the half. It's short for Ursher. And Morehead State with a 5-point advantage going into the locker room. The Eagles leading by as many as 11 in the opening half. #1 seed, Morehead State win for a 3rd straight day. First round matchup over Lindenwood last night, picking up the win over Tennessee State in the quarterfinals. Brad Korn's squad trying to knock off the top dog in the OVC this year.
But you look at the 3-point numbers, Morehead State's shooting better from behind the arc, but Semo's, they're holding pretty much the same percentage as Morehead State overall. It's all about the fact that Morehead State's got 5 more field goal attempts, and they're converting as a result because Semo's not taking care of the basketball. Semo cleans that up, we're going to have a much better second half here.
Bodies hit the floor. Foul called on Semo.
Well, normally when 2 bodies hit the floor on the other side, usually it's 2 guys and 1 guy falls. They both fell to the floor. Yeah, it looks like, and you can almost make a case that, was that Russell?
Yeah, and Russell got called for the foul.
Almost make a case that he pulled him down.
That Wolf did,
yeah. There you go.
But that's 3 fouls on Philip Russell, the second leading scorer in the OVC. Something to keep an eye on for sure. Gross inside, had a couple of bodies around him and playing volleyball, and a pushing foul is called on Gross.
Oh,
that's
wow.
the first on Gross. So Semo will have the ball.
So Semo's big man, Nate Johnson, has 3 fouls. Their first team all-conference player and second leading scorer in the OVC, Philip Russell, has 3 fouls. It has not been their game tonight so far, but here's the thing. They're only down 5. As bad as they've taken care of the basketball, as well as Morehead State has shot the ball from behind the arc, they're only down by 5.
Spinning inside, nice feed underneath to Early. Smart was the one who found him.
So good. He attacks the basket. You're so worried he's going to attack, but he finds a teammate down by the rim.
Felwell coming around the screen and gets rejected. Early coming up with that. Russell the other way. Draws the foul.
My, things changed quick, huh? It looked like it was all Morehead State at halftime. This is a beautiful pass right here. And the big man, Early, having his hands ready to catch the ball. And then the block on the other end. Early gets a layup, and then he gets a two-hand block off the backboard. That leads to 2 free throws on the other side for Philip Russell.
Russell, 6th in the conference at 82% from the line. His first trip there tonight. Out of Vashon High School in St. Louis. Initially walked on at St. Louis University in his hometown, played 8 games there before deciding to transfer to SEMO.
You know what's crazy is when Coach Rick Ray was the head coach here before Brad Korn, he actually committed. He signed with SEMO out of high school. Decommitted when the coaching change happened. As you mentioned, he went to SLU to be a walk-on and came back a year later and played really well for Brad Korn's group. Big part of the turnaround.
And
it's illegal.
Pushing foul. That's called on SEMO on Branson. Got tangled. I believe that was with Wolf. He was trying to set the screen. Branson not too thrilled. And that's 3 on him.
My goodness. 3 players for SEMO with 3 fouls.
Mentioned it earlier, 4th in the country in fouls committed per game, SEMO. They commit on average 21 fouls per game.
Like I said before, a lot of that's because of the way they play up and down. Good pass down inside.
And Gross will have free throws coming thanks to another SEMO foul. This one on Aquan Smart, his second.
This is a great pass into Alex Gross. Look, his hands and feet are moving. He's getting great positioning on his defender, and he's able to pump fake and get to the free throw line. He's the only player in Division I today with over 2,000 points and 1,400 rebounds in his career. You can see why.
Started off at NAI Olivet Nazarene, played 4 years there, and had over 2,000 points and over 1,200 rebounds at that NAIA school. Was a 2-time NAIA All-American. Had 3 triple-doubles last year. Oh my! For Olivet Nazarene, I don't care. You say NIA, whatever. That's pretty impressive.
No, NAIA has a lot of players that played Division I at that level. No, I was saying SEMO oftentimes they have a lot of turnovers because they play high possessions, but in this game it hasn't been as many possessions maybe as normal if you just base by score.
Smart unable to connect. Such a tough team to come back against Morehead State because of how deliberate they are. Freeman.
He's slippery. Gets around defenders. He's a little bit unassuming, and he's a little quicker than you think he's going to be.
Try the 3, rims out. Early with the board going against Gross there. Good box out by Early. Russell finds Early in the post. Early against Gross, the spin move, gets it to go. Nice job by Early with the left hand. He has 6.
That was a great up and under, terrific delivery by Russell down inside. You know Early feels good. He just got a bucket against the Defensive Player of the Year.
That's right. 6 points off the bench for Early and a 2-point lead for Morehead State. Eagles led by 5 at the intermission. Thomas will try it. Can't connect, and Branson with the board.
They can take the lead here.
Russell through the lane. Gross with the rejection. Freeman on the run out. And that's what Morehead State's so good at, using their defense and turning it into offense.
Terrific at it. Best scoring defense in the league. Best rebound margin team in the league.
Harris gets it to go. Chris Harris with 8.
A big fan of his game. He was 16 of 18 from the foul line last night against Tennessee State. At 36 against Lindenwood 2 weeks ago. He has the ability to get hot.
Wolf around the Gross screen. Freeman was open for a moment, instead gives it up. Thelwell will try from 3. Weak side rebound for Early. Early's been a monster down low. 9 rebounds for Early. Russell around the Early screen, trying to draw the foul, doesn't get it. Russell pleading with the official. And had a case there.
Yeah, right. Morehead State will just walk the ball up. Try to tick more time off the clock. This is all about who's going to dictate the tempo. Morehead State's won that battle tonight. They've played the slower pace, the more deliberate pace, as you had mentioned earlier.
Wolf off balance, misses everything. Wolf thought he was fouled. Baseline reverse layup, Smart unable to finish. Early was trying to grab the offensive board, could not. And we've been stuck on two-point lead for Morehead State for a little bit here.
Well, Alex Gross didn't get a block shot on that play, but he affected the shot. When I can't remember who was that. Was that Smart that was taking the ball to the rack?
Yes.
He was afraid to shoot the shot from one side, so he went reverse, trying to avoid Gross.
Good defense there by Early. Gross maybe a little further than he would have liked to have been there. And Russell being deliberate here. Harris, step back, got it. We're tied. 29 and 12 rebounds for Harris last night, 10 points so far tonight. Semo trying to win for a third straight day in the OVC tournament, knotting the score at 38. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal. When you take care of your team, they take care of business. You're watching Championship Week presented by Principal. Welcome to the OVC Championship. It's presented by United Fidelity Bank. First of two semifinal games tonight. Morehead State led by 5 at the half, but Southeast Missouri State has tied it up at 38 with 14:46 remaining in this contest. Winner goes to the OVC Championship game, which will be played tomorrow night here at the Ford Center in Evansville. And Morehead State's gotten off to a slow start, Richie, here in the second half. They've missed 7 of their 8 shots.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And conversely, Semo has gone 4 of 8. And I feel like Semo has done a better job with their shot selection. And the key is they haven't turned the ball over yet. 9 turnovers in the first half, first 5 minutes of the second half, not a single turnover. When you don't turn the ball over, obviously, you get more field goal attempts.
Morehead State was feasting off of those Semo turnovers in the first half. Some backcourt pressure by Semo. Morehead State able to break it. See teams do that against Morehead State sometimes, that backcourt pressure to try and speed them up since the Eagles are so deliberate. Felwell gets it in the post to Bryant. Bryant against Johnson in the 3 fouls. Bryant able to lay it in. 4 points for the 6'9" senior out of Cheltenham, Maryland.
I've seen it before. He does a really good job of getting the ball and using a little slide dribble move. He kind of dribbles to the middle with his opposite hand and switches over. Uses that elbow, swings it, and gets a layup. So good at that move.
Harris around the Johnson screen. Gives it to the screener, Johnson, who lays it in. Nate Johnson with his first bucket.
We've talked a lot about Johnson, and then when he's effective, it seems like they're better against Morehead State. That's a good look down inside.
They're knotted at 40. SEMO hasn't led since it was 8-7 at the 15-minute mark of the first half, and Morehead State goes back on top thanks to Thelwell. Russell slowing things down here. We've seen SEMO be a little more deliberate here in the second half at times.
Doing a better job, yeah. They're being more disciplined with the basketball, valuing it more, not allowing it, no errant passes, not taking gambles.
Barnes to the basket, and Bryant fouls him. It's going to be the second on L.J. Bryant. Barnes has free throws coming when we return.
Team's third.
Good job. Both these teams looking inside. Here's L.J. Bryant. Here's that slide dribble move. Then boom, switch to the other side and layup on the basket. Great job by Morehead State. SEMO's got a little something of their own too now. Look inside. Great movement off the ball. Johnson, great catch and finish.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal. When you take care of your team, they take care of business. Five college basketball games tomorrow on ESPN and the app starting at noon Eastern, including these 3 games. Top teams in the Big 12 square off at 4 Eastern, 3 Central. Number 9 Texas and number 3 Kansas in Austin. Then it's Duke in North Carolina. That age-old rivalry. 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. Top 2 teams in the Pac-12. Number 4 UCLA hosting number 8 Arizona at Pauley Pavilion. Good one here. SEMO with a little more bounce in their step since halftime. And Barnes at the line for a couple of free throws. Could knot the score at 42.
I feel like SEMO has done a great job of utilizing their bench. 40 points, 15 come from the bench, right? So you're getting a lot of contribution from guys not starting the game.
Been a big key for Brad Corrin's squad. 1 of 2 trips for Barnes. He has 7 off the bench.
There comes a little 2-2-1 press here.
Again, trying to speed up Morehead State, maybe force a turnover. Russell almost knocked that away from Moffman. Just over 13 minutes remaining. Winner goes to the OVC championship game tomorrow night here at the Ford Center. We'll play the winner of UT Martin, Tennessee Tech, the second semifinal tonight that we'll have for you here on ESPNU. And an offensive foul on L.J. Bryan, and that's 3 on Bryan.
So he was going to do the same move. It looked like he was going to dribble middle and then pivot quickly towards the baseline side. Just a little bit too much body, though. Look, I see he dislodged his defender, and when you do that, that's a player control foul.
Josh Early drawing it. He's given him some nice minutes. You're talking about the bench production for SEMO. Josh Early's certainly been a part of that.
Yeah. 6 points.
Early getting it here, working against Bryan. Early
travel.
And it's called for steps.
Yeah, so he's got a little bit of happy feet. Okay, he's playing against a bigger, stronger L.J. Bryan. Right? He doesn't have the same size, a couple inches smaller. He's certainly not as big and strong, so he's turning and facing up, and he's looking to attack. Instead of being a back-to-the-basket guy like L.J. Bryan, he wants to turn, face up, and attack and use his speed and quickness to get around Bryan. But he looked like he was a little nervous with that footwork because Bryan's so much bigger, longer, potentially block that shot.
Once again, backcourt pressure by the Red Hawks.
I think we're going to see more and more of that in the second half. And it hasn't forced any turnovers, I don't think, but it just stops Morehead State from running effective offense. It takes them longer to get across half court. We're going to keep going down inside to him.
Bryan out to Freeman.
Give it to him again.
5 to shoot. Bryan. Yes. 6 points for Bryan.
Not many teams that will consistently go down inside the paint still. People want to play outside. They want to spread it. They went down inside to Bryan twice in the same possession. And I think 3 possessions in a row they've gone down inside to him.
3-pointer, left wing Branson off the heel.
And this is how Morehead State hurts you, okay? They get a stop, great. They're not looking to push it for a layup. They're just walking the ball up the floor. They're taking the time, controlling the clock, making the tempo favor them. Bryan wants it again. He's getting good positioning on his defender.
Freeman drawing the contact against the fellow number 0, Barnes. Second on Barnes. You know, another thing too, Richie, you talk about Morehead State, how deliberate they are. Think about what they're doing on the defensive end. They have the best defensive rebounding percentage in the conference. Wow. I mean, you look at their overall rebounding numbers, rebounding margin doesn't exactly jump out at you, but they're not allowing teams to get second shots very often.
You know, and Preston Spradlin spent so much time at Kentucky under John Calipari, won a national championship in 2012 on staff. Came here as an assistant coach. Took over in an interim role in December of 2016. Finished well. Now it's his 6th full season as head coach. And I love his style. You know, they play off the pass. They pass the ball a lot. They go inside. They go inside out. Best scoring defense in the league. Best rebounding margin team in the league. Best defensive rebounding team in the league, as you had just mentioned. That stuff plays a part in winning games. Now, 3rd straight season of 20 straight wins. They've reached the pinnacle. And I think this is a team under Preston Spradlin. This program could be a dominant team in the OVC.
A slam by Early. Dominating the rim there. SEMO really needed that after Morehead State had gotten it back up to 5. Fell well to Bryan at the top of the key. Bryan looking to get rid of it. 9 to shoot. Freeman. 3 on the shot clock.
Oh.
Freeman spins back but unable to finish.
Spin cycle looked good.
3-point game. SEMO with the ball and trailing. Harris to the basket. Got it. 1-point game.
I'd like to see Chris Harris get the ball in his hands more. 29 points last night. I just feel like he's feeling good. He plays well in this arena, and he has been effective tonight so far. I'd like to see him go off here in the last 10 minutes.
Those 12 points for Harris lead the Red Hawks. the shot clock for Wolf. Wolf turns it over. Barnes, the one who comes up with it.
Oh, nice move.
Russell for the lead. Wolf skying for the rebound.
I don't think people realize how hard it is to cross over off of, refuse the ball screen and pull up for a three. Russell has not knocked down a lot of shots tonight. Uncharacteristic for him.
Nice bounce pass down low. Bryant, yes, and the foul. Bryant's come up with a couple of big buckets lately here for Morehead State. And back to a three-point lead for the Eagles.
And both these teams going back and forth. Chris Harris, I love his game. Look, he just bulldozes his way to the basket. Great job. Morehead State on the other end. Look at Thelwell's pass off the pick and roll. And Bryant contact, no problem.
Eight points for L.J. Bryant, 6 of them here in the second half, Richie.
He's terrific. Look at the slide dribble move. Likes to go over his left shoulder, right hand. Here on the other side, he'll still go to his right hand. You don't know which way he's going to go, but he's so big and strong, he can finish with contact. He is a no-nonsense guy. He's so valuable, plays solid, no execution mistakes, has a great understanding of the game. And last year, we were talking to Coach Preston Spradlin. He told us, no doubt in his mind, best backup in the country. Such a great understanding, plays so well, does everything you ask him, and he has improved. And not just passing the ball, but finishing. And we've seen him finish with a lot of contact here tonight. Nobody can stop him because of his physicality.
One of the Eagles veterans, his 4th year with Morehead State. After spending 1 year at State Fair Community College in Missouri, originally from Maryland. Bryant looking to add to his scoring totals at the line. His first free throw attempts tonight. See there, 59% on the year.
At the line for Morehead State, number 22, L.J. Bryant.
So one free throw for Bryant trying to complete a three-point play. Offensive rebound knocked away. And wow, that looked like that should have been a backcourt. Freeman touched that last before it went into the backcourt.
That was missed.
Wolf trying to take advantage of that. And with 5 on the shot clock, draws the foul. Yeah, that was a clear miss by the officials. There was no deflection there by Semo.
Here's the missed shot. Great job by Moffmer to keep it alive. Yeah, that was touched. Now we got a better angle because we're sitting half court. He touched it. Referee missed it. It happens.
And you saw Freeman there. He even knew it. You saw him after he touched it, went in the backcourt, kind of Looked like he had just touched a hot stove there.
LJ Bryant's coming out of the game, but I can't imagine he's coming out for long. He has been so efficient in this contest so far. Played 11 minutes, 8 points in those 11 minutes, as you had mentioned. And keep going down inside to him, 4 of 5. Well, he's in the game now. I thought I just saw him come out. What happened?
Well, they're waiting after this first free throw. Gross looks like he's going to check in for Bryant here after the first of 2 by Wolf.
Yeah, there he goes. You're right. There's some big fellas who, they're just big, strong guys. So they need a couple more minutes break here and there. Put him in for short spurts. Clearly, when he's in the game, they've been going down inside to him. So give him a quick blow. Probably get him back in the game after the next media timeout. So he sits a couple game minutes, but really it's going to be more like 5-7 minutes before he gets back in the game in real time.
8 points in 11 minutes for LJ Bryant. Empty trip at the line for Wolf. 4-point lead for Morehead State.
I look at Morehead State's defense. They're in great positioning. They got help side rotations. They make every defender see 2 or 3 players. Yeah, Jake Wolf, great defender, but he bit on that shot fake.
Got him in the air. That's the third on Wolf.
Yeah, a lot of times Wolf is guarding the opponent's best player. That's why he's guarding right now Chris Harris. Chris Harris has been dynamic as of late. He's a second-team all-conference player. He averages 15 on the year. He's a guy that can get a buckets in a lot of ways.
Scored over 1,100 points in his SEMO career. Missing that first free throw, 78% free throw shooter. Brad Korn, SEMO head coach, with some instructions for Smart.
Missed them both. I'm really impressed with Brad Korn. And when he took over the program, they won 7 games the year before he got there. He won 11 in his first year, 14 in his second year. And this year they've won 17 games. They continue to get better. It's the 3rd year in a row they've made the tournament. That's the first time in several years.
Freeman with the finish. A game-high 19 for Freeman. SEMO with the ball down by 6, looking for some answers. Smart along the baseline now. Russell. Johnson wasn't expecting it, gets it anyway. With the right hand, misses everything.
Oh, no.
And Smart hits the ground. He's in some pain right now, getting looked at. Not exactly sure what happened over on that far side there by the SEMO bench.
We're going to get a look here. Here he is with the ball. I think he may have stepped on Moffmer's foot. It's hard to say for sure, but he was moving with the basketball. Moffmer was guarding him, and then he came up hobbling.
He's being helped off right now.
Is that what it looked like? Looked like his right foot may have, or did he just do it on his own? Look at his right foot. Watch, does his right foot catch a foot? No, it doesn't. So it had nothing to do with the defense.
Yeah, completely non-contact. You can see he's still feeling it right now.
And you hate that for any young player anytime, but especially in a conference tournament. This is what you work all year for. You're here. And opportunities like this, you're questionable if you can play.
6-point lead for Morehead State with the basketball. Just over 8 minutes remaining in the second half. First and 2 OVC tournament semifinals tonight on ESPNU in the Ford Center in Evansville.
Alex Gross is begging for the ball down inside. Doesn't get it. What's he do? Looks like he's going to set a ball screen. No, look back down.
6 on the shot clock. Freeman, tough shot. And the rebound pulled down by SEMO's Harris. Harris in the high post around the Johnson screen. Harris with the right hand. Johnson cleans it up.
Johnson there because the help defender had to help on the shot for Harris.
Korn calling timeout for SEMO.
Yeah, you'd like this. Marcus Freeman, Ohio Valley Conference Player of the Year, dribbling around everybody for a layup. Great job. Semo not going away, down 11 at one point. Chris Harris misses. Who's there to clean up? Johnson.
UFC 285 tomorrow night from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. It's another stacked card with 2 title fights highlighted by the longer-awaited return of John Jones. Main card begins at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific on pay-per-view with the prelims at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Plus. To order the main card in English and Spanish, go to espnplus.com/PPV. Morehead State traveling well from Morehead, Kentucky, the #1 seed in the OVC tournament. Preston Spradlin's squad has led most of the way. They were up by 5 at the intermission, led by as much as 11 in the first half, but Semo's given the Eagles all they could handle.
Well, give a lot of credit to Semo. I mean, they coughed up 9 turnovers in the second half, okay? And here in the first half, I'm sorry. Here in the second half, though, they've only had 1 turnover. So they've cleaned up their ball control. And at the same time, though, they've done a great job because Morehead State hit 5 threes in the first half. This half, they were 0 for 3. So Semo's done a great job cleaning up their offense and doing a much better job on the defensive end, too.
8 to shoot. Felwell. Good defense. Israel Barnes. Barnes gets it back from Branson. Open 3, right wing is short from Harris. And the strong side rebound corralled by Felwell of the Eagles. Morehead State not afraid to let that shot clock run.
Look at Gross down inside. That's going to be offensive.
Yep.
That's going to be offensive. We got to watch that back because I want to show you Alex Gross. He's been begging for the ball down inside the paint even before the last timeout. Big men have to demand the ball. He's asking for it. He finally gets it, but watch his left hand. Watch him hook. See that little left hook with his left? Yes. Great job by Johnson playing with his feet, not with his hands, but in order to get positioning, Gross had to use that left hook, and they called it.
A little bit of frustration on Gross's part trying to get the ball.
Totally. I think so. Oh, it's 2 in a row. Same place for Harris.
Russell rejected by Gross, but it'll stay on this end. Alex Gross with those big paws.
I mean, look at the rebound. I mean, it's a great rebound by Russell. But Alex Gross, best defensive player in the league.
Yeah.
Don't come over here, man.
OVC Defensive Player of the Year, Alex Gross. Averages over 2 blocks a game. Harris. Oh, caught in no man's land. 5 to shoot. Russell from deep. Misses everything.
Still have a couple seconds on that shot clock. You'd like to see him try to break down the defender and create maybe a mid-range shot or a layup or even kick out for somebody else. I think you wasted 3 seconds there.
Russell, who scored in double figures in all but 1 game this season for Semo. 9 so far tonight. 6 to play. Morehead State looking to add to their 4-point bulge. Gross wants it in the post. Felwell instead working his way inside, gets caught up, and a turnover.
Oh, wide open. Nice pass. Look at
And
that.
drilled. Mark Freeman. Or beg your pardon, Israel Barnes with 10. He's done a nice job off the bench.
So much of what you can do to be effective in basketball are two-man games. They stayed on one side of the floor. It was still in transition. And how about Barnes and Harris working with each other to get a wide open look?
Semo 4 for 11 from 3 in this game. It's the first 3 they've made in the second half. Once again, the shot clock in single digits for the Eagles. Wolf almost loses it. Wolf gets blocked by Johnson.
Take the lead here.
Russell, change in direction. Johnson double teamed. Almost walked with it.
Plenty of time.
Harris will try a triple. And Branson's going to get called. No, Branson's not going to get called for the rebounding foul. He was going for that rebound. I believe they got Gross for that.
Semo coming alive. Look at the steal here from, I believe it's number 0. Barnes ends up getting his hands on it after Branson got a piece. And look at the two-man game. Barnes passes it off to Harris. Harris says, you know what, I'll give it right back to you. And knock down that three-point shot in the corner wing area.
1-and-1 opportunity for Branson. If he hits both, it puts Semo on top. He's got another coming. First point for Branson, the 6'5" sophomore from St. Louis. 70% from the line on the year. And Semo is on top for the first time since the 15-minute mark of the first half.
They've only had the lead for 1 minute this entire game. Oh, this is what you want. You want to be in the game in the last 5 minutes and let players make plays and do the right thing down the stretch.
Felwell loses it and it goes to Semo. In the first half, it was Morehead State forcing turnovers. Semo showing turnabout as fair play here in the second half.
These Semo fans behind us are going crazy, feeling the momentum. Great job by Harris. He's getting it done on both ends. And there's Brad Korn, who took over a program who was really struggling. He's 3-2 in the OVC tourney, now in his 3rd season. And this would be huge if they could get to the finals.
Brad Korn, 6'9", and he's wearing red. Hard to miss over on that Semo sideline. 6 turnovers in the second half for Morehead State compared to just 1 for Semo since the intermission. Semo hasn't led by more than 1 today. Russell off to Branson. Good feed underneath, and the layup is finished down low. Nicely done by Josh Early. 10 off the bench for Early. 4 minutes to play. Number 1 seed Morehead State down by 3. Early with a double-double, 10 and 11 rebounds. Freeman, Gross trying to get the rebound, and it's going to stay with Morehead State.
Great job by Philip Russell. Great vision, but look at the movement off the ball as Branson notices he's being overplayed and has the presence of mind to dump it down into Early for the finish. That is team basketball by the Redhawks.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by United Fidelity Bank. Come see the difference at unitedfidelity.com. Nine nothing. 9-0 run for SEMO over the last 4 minutes.
They've done a great job of capitalizing, doing good defense. They're getting in the paint. They're finishing on offensive boards. This was a great two-man game. 3-point shot made by Barnes, and then off the ball movement. Teammates helping and using their vision to find open layup opportunities. Morehead State was guns a-blazing in the first half. They hit 5 threes. They had 9 assists to 3 turnovers. Here in the second half, they haven't made a 3-point shot yet. They have 2 assists, but they have 9 turnovers. It's like a tale of 2 halves. Now SEMO is forcing the turnovers and making their defense become offense.
See the 10 points there for Early. Has 11 rebounds as well. His second double-double of the season, both coming in the OVC tournament. He had a double-double in the first game, the first round against Lindenwood. And he had 14 and 12 boards. Morehead State hasn't scored in almost 4 minutes. They're going to try and score here with Freeman, but he misses everything. A set play there to their leading scorer.
A lot of this game is going to come down to free throws. You know, both these teams are above 70% free throw shooting teams. We're in the bonus now. Both teams still have 2 timeouts. There's a lot of time here. Execution has to be made.
Russell from the elbow. Unable to get the offensive rebound. Barnes. Wolf thought about it, but Morehead State, as is their custom, being deliberate here. Russell on Wolf, now gets a double team with Barnes coming to help, and it's a tie-up. Possession arrow gives it to the Redhawks. Excellent help by Barnes.
We've seen Barnes make plays, get his hands on steals here. He goes to help inside the post, does a great job of tying the ball up. We saw him make a 3-point shot. Barnes has really come alive here in the second half. We've said his name quite a bit. Now you're seeing SEMO walk the ball up. That dynamic defense we saw from Morehead State in the first half, we haven't quite seen that here in the second.
Russell around the screen. Harris. Double team, yes, and the foul. And if that's on Gross, that's 4.
It is on Gross. Gross had to help because his teammate got beat off the dribble. He's the insurance policy. He's supposed to stop him from scoring. He fouls him, but not hard enough. Harris too big and too strong, uses the pump fake, absorbs the contact, and gets the and 1.
29 points and 12 rebounds in the quarterfinals against Tennessee State last night for Harris. He now has 15 points and 7 rebounds tonight.
See, normally we have SEMO after a made free throw. They're going to pick up full court and press. Here, they went back and played half-court defense.
Morehead State down by 6, 2:40 remaining.
Morehead State has a lot of time. Don't panic. Now, execute. Look for your first scoring opportunity. It's a good shot.
Halfway down for Thomas Thelwell. He'll try it. And Russell comes away with it for SEMO.
Now it's SEMO walking the ball up the floor. They have control of the game. Clock is your friend when you have a 6-point lead with just over 2 to go.
Harris, blocking foul called on Wolf. Wolf thought it should have gone the other way.
That's 9 fouls this half on Morehead State. You're going to get one-on-one here. But from here on out, every time Morehead State fouls, it's going to be 2 free throws for SEMO.
And that's 4 fouls on Wolf. So Wolf with 4, Gross with 4 for Morehead State. Harris looking to add to his total at the line, 5 of 7 tonight. 8th leading scorer in the conference, averaging 15 a game. Unable to convert on the front end.
Morehead State traditionally really good at executing. They can't panic here. There's still 2 minutes. It's a lot of time.
Deep 3 for Freeman, and he got fouled.
Foul, wow, early. They called the foul on Josh Early. That's the break Morehead State needed.
First on Early, so three free throws here.
I know it's frustrating for the Eagles because they're not. Yeah, it is a foul.
Yeah.
They're not knocking down the threes that they made in the first half. 3-point shot, the great equalizer. You know, Freeman, he nets all these. It's a 3-point game.
4 of 5 from the line tonight, make it 5 of 6. That gives Freeman his 620-point game of the year, the OVC Player of the Year.
So, you get the ball in the hands of your best players down the stretch. Freeman go to the best player in the league. He got a little out of rhythm on that free throw. He was about to shoot it, and the officials blew their whistle. And I think it kind of messed up his rhythm there. He missed the second free throw.
Started his career at fellow OVC member Tennessee State before going to Illinois State for a season. He's found a home in Morehead, Kentucky this year. 4-point lead for Semo with the ball. 1:48 remaining. Redhawks trying to knock off the #1 seed in the conference. Nice feed underneath and a layup for Branson. His first field goal tonight.
Seems so easy. Harris beat his man off the bounce and just delivered a nice, beautiful bucket pass to Branson inside.
Freeman working his way to the basket, unable to finish. That may have been altered by early.
Are we seeing a major upset?
It's looking more and more likely. As now Russell playing keep away from Thelwell.
That should have been a foul. That's 2 free throws.
Yep, that is a foul.
That's the same thing we saw in the first half, remember? Russell got in front of his defender. Watch him look back. He gets past Thelwell. Watch him look back. I see young players try to do this all the time. He looks back to make sure that Thelwell's behind him. He just completely stops. Thelwell bumps into him. It's a foul because contact has been made, and now we have 2 free throws. It's going to be an 8-point game if he drills both of these.
Stopping short, paying off for Russell. And that's the first.
I can't believe this tournament. Morehead State just completely cold here in the second half. They had 34 points at halftime, did they not? 34 points at halftime. They've scored 19 points here in the first 19 minutes of the second half.
A lot of credit to Semo defense turning over Morehead State. And like you said, the Eagles getting cold as well. And now Morehead State will call timeout here with 1:10 remaining. And an 8-point lead for Southeast Missouri State, trying to pull off the upset in the OVC tournament semis. We have 5 college basketball games tomorrow on ESPN and the app that start at noon Eastern, but we're highlighting these 3 games. Top teams in the Big 12 square off at 4 Eastern, 3 Central. Number 9 Texas takes on number 3 Kansas and Austin. Then it's Duke and North Carolina at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. Top teams in the Pac-12 get after it at Pauley Pavilion. Number 4 UCLA against number 8 Arizona. Well, that young man feeling glue.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
I hope they got a like a 3-for-1 deal on the hair dye.
Does all the young men have hair dye? Look, Morehead State, they've been just so cold here in the second.
More than 7.5 minutes since the Eagles' last field goal make.
I think if this drops, they're going to feel good.
1 minute.
You got to have something. There it is. There it is. Now they're going to pick up full court.
Thelwell with 13.
Now they're going to pick it up. See if you can get a 10-second buy. Look at this.
Wolf. And then Branson, I believe, called for the foul after tripping Wolf. That's going to be 4 on Branson.
And here it is. Great defense, good. So you want to use that sideline. So Wolf came in there. You want to use that sideline as an extra defender, right? That's exactly what Morehead State did. Now, Wolf got fouled because of it. And here it was, an 8-point game. He knocks down these 2 free throws. It's a 3-point game like that in a matter of seconds.
1-and-1 opportunity for Wolf, 66% from the line.
Look at this. This game has been crazy.
Wolf 2 for 3 tonight.
All right, it's good. If he makes this 3-point game.
50.3 seconds remaining.
Will they keep the press on? They're going to go back to the press? So they're going to lay off now. They're not going to, well, they're going to press a little bit. It doesn't look like they're heating them up as much as they were just a moment ago. But they're going to put, yeah, some dummy pressure on them. See if you can get a stop here, and it's still a 1-possession game. Semo scores, 2-possession game.
Yeah, don't have to foul here. Russell will burn some clock.
Well, look, if I'm Semo, look, I'm looking to get a ball screen here. I'm looking for Russell to attack, get to the foul line, score points with the clock being stopped. Get 2 free throws if you get fouled.
There's a screen from Harris. 3 on the shot clock. Russell, step back. Got it! Philip Russell with 14. And gesturing toward the Semo cheering section.
Russell struggled to shoot the basketball tonight, but when it matters the most, he doesn't go to the hole. A couple of crossovers, 3-point shot in Wolf's face, knocks it down. What just was a 3-point game is now a 6-point game, and Morehead State's in a lot of trouble right now.
That could be the dagger. And now Morehead State in the position, Richie, where obviously you have to look to score every timeout, but now with just 21 seconds remaining, if you do score, even if you don't, you have to foul right away.
First
you don't get a steal.
Yeah,
right.
You look to press, see if you can get a steal. Maybe you can trap before you foul, right? Because you don't want to just bail them out by fouling and then they get to the free throw line right away. Like, get in there, see if you can get a steal on the inbound, then trap. See if you can get a deflection off the trap. And if you don't do that, then you foul. I think you have time to do that still. You don't need a 3 necessarily if you're Morehead State. You need to score. That's what you need to do. Just period, score. If the best percentage shot at the moment is a 3, take it. But you can get a layup, score quick, and then press right away.
Score quick, so important.
Yeah. Now look, you're looking over here at Brad Korn. He was drawing something up for his team. Brad Korn's group, both these teams still have 1 timeout left. If you're Brad Korn and Semo, what you want to do is you're letting them know, like, if they score on you, they're going to press you. So he's reviewing with them pressure releases, press break, and reminding them you still have 1 timeout. If you need it, it's still available to you. Look for Morehead State, come down the floor. They're going to break this pressure. Looks like Semo's going to pick up full court a little bit. Break the pressure. Look for dribble handoffs on the wing or the top of the key for 3-point shots.
0.3 of a second added to the clock during the timeout. Morehead State. Thelwell has it poked away, and Semo comes away with it, or no, out of bounds. So it's going to go back to Morehead State. Barnes was on the sideline.
That was awesome. Look at this. Look at this little poke that you talked about right here. And then look at Barnes give up his body trying to save the ball. I thought he had it. You got to score in a hurry now. At this point, you almost need a 3. You got to have it now. You've wasted too much time. Oh.
Thelwell will put it up. Fight for the rebound.
Wow. Wow.
And Semo is 6.2 seconds away from their first OVC Conference Tournament Championship game since 2000.
Brad Korn in year 3 took over 2020, 2021. He had a 6-game win improvement in the OVC. Another 3 games added to the overall record last year in wins. This year, 2nd year in a row in the semifinals, 17 wins. And he's going to go 4-2 in conference play, taking over a program who really struggled before he arrived. And Brad Korn getting an opportunity to take Semo potentially to the NCAA tournament if they can pull off 1 more win. This is their 3rd game in 3 days. Remember, this happened in 2016 in the OVC. Austin Peay under the great Dave Luce, the all-time OVC wins leader, took Austin Peay and won 4 straight days to win the OVC championship into the NCAA tournament.
Gross fouled out for Morehead State there early with 11 points and a career-high 13 rebounds. Freeman unable to connect. And Southeast Missouri State is headed to the OVC Tournament Championship game. The number 5 seed wins for the 3rd straight day, and they knock off number 1 seed Morehead State. first OVC tournament championship game for the Red Hawks since they won it in 2000, which is their only NCAA tournament appearance at the Division I level. They'll play the winner of our next semifinal coming up between 2-seed Tennessee Tech and 3-seed UT Morton.
Semo struggled in the first half, but dominated in the second half on both ends of the floor. What a win for the Red Hawks.
Got another one coming up for you. Don't go anywhere. Semo advances.